nobody else, just us, right here at the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. I'm Justin Chamness. This is the weekly Shut Up Money Show. This is where we are live and we do Q&A. I think I called it today No Holds Barred. Q&A, no holds barred. So any questions? Of course, I don't know everything. All right. Certainly don't. But what I do know, I'll gladly share with you. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know it. I think a lot of you have heard me say that before. Not that I'll say that, but actually you've heard me say I don't know, or, I don't know that. I'll have to figure that out. Welcome to the show, guys. If you are out there in the world watching us on some platform, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe where you are. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's crazy. I can feel it. It's all I think about. I'm obsessed. No, it's not that bad, but it is for real. Very close. So we appreciate you subscribing. We appreciate you hitting the bell notification if you're at YouTube. If you're over on Facebook, join us on the Facebook group. It's free. It's called Real Estate Wholesalers Club. If you're out there surfing the web, join us at our website, realestatewholesalersclub.com. We have free training out there for you. If you want to be a virtual wholesaler, if you want to be a virtual co-wholesaler, mobile wholesaler, joint venture wholesaler, lease options wholesaler, we got training for you out there. Free agreements, everything you need to get started. Why do we do that? Because who else is? Who else is? I don't know anybody. I know there's some guys out there giving away agreements. Like, get my agreement if you put your email at. We don't even ask for your email over there, realestatewholesalersclub.com. So go check it out. How's everybody doing today? Welcome. I see some more people have come here to the Zoom room. If you want to participate in the Q&A today from the Zoom room, please feel free to do so. You can do that by visiting www.zoomjustin.com. www.zoomjustin.com. So check us out if you want to participate in the Zoom room. All right. It's been an adventurous week. Hope everybody had a great week. I know I had a pretty decent week as far as real estate wholesaling goes. And I want to talk with you a little bit today about real estate wholesaling and what it takes to be a success. More importantly, I want to answer your questions. So I'm going to go find the video on YouTube as we're live. I'm going to look at the chat there. But do we have any questions to start right here in the Zoom room? Is there anybody here in the Zoom room with a question right now? Let's just kick it off with question time. Anybody got anything?
Hey, Justin. Good morning. It's Steven from South Florida. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, Steven. How are you?
Great, thanks. Hey, I'm a little confused. You offer some free trainings, which are great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have a separate training just because you keep referring back to a Ugly House basic training course, and I can't find it for my life, to save my life.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it, and I'll show you what I'm referring to, and then I'll answer your question a little bit more in depth. Over at the website realestatewholesalersclub.com, there is, which this is what it looks like.
Yep.
You slide down, you see there's two free training courses here.
Right. Yep.
One is a lease options wholesaler basic training, and that comes with the agreements. And then there's the free Ugly House co-wholesaler. Okay. So it sounds like you're asking me about Ugly House wholesaling, like you going direct to the homeowner, closing the deal, and then finding a buyer, not a joint venture with another wholesaler. Is that correct?
Correct. That's right.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That is not on the website.
Okay.
This is virtual co-wholesaling here, a free course, and virtual lease options with the agreements in both respectively. Now, then there's also the upgraded versions, which contains more scripts, more ads for virtual assistants, more outsourcing materials, everything. So it's like,
Right.
it's the
Right.
full Monty.
when you go to that co-wholesaling training though, one of the first things you say is if you haven't done the basic, I
Yeah.
think call it ugly house training, go find that. And I haven't been able
Yeah.
to find it.
You know, I said that, and it's probably a good idea to go look at that stuff, but it's not probably as mandatory as I made it sound
Okay.
in the video.
Okay.
Now I do want to go over here. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up on my YouTube channel, and I'll find the playlist that you're talking about. My computer's pulling up here. I want my channel. So if you just visit my channel on YouTube, or you search Real Estate Wholesalers Club on YouTube, you'll find us. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to slide over here. Oops, what I click? I don't want to upload something. What you'll have to do is go over here to playlists and click playlists. And in the playlists, there should be, as you scroll over, what I hit a button. Man, I hit the wrong buttons. It's like I got fat fingers today. Okay. You know, I don't see it. Where'd it go? Steven, I must have hit a button, man, and taken it down. Okay. I'll tell you what, I will put it back up today, and it'll be right there in that section. You can find it. Now, I'll forewarn you that is the very first course I ever came out with. And as much as I like it and it's good, I get good positive information feedback from people that watch it. And in fact, it's one of my most popular video segments. It's been available till recently. I think I must have recently accidentally hit the button and removed it off there. I can just put it right back up.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to follow the procedures, and
yeah. Well, man, thanks for pointing that out to me. I didn't realize that I had goofed like that, but okay. It's me sitting in front of a crappy background, but it's really me coming from the heart too. So, being the first course I ever made, I really, really put my guts into it. I mean, you could feel my passion. Like I'm going to reach through the camera and choke you and say, do this.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a little boring in parts because I'm new at it. And then it's a little bit intense in other parts. And okay. you might get a kick out of it. Some good information in there though. But all the agreements and everything for the Ugly House wholesaling, you'll find in the co-wholesale free training at the website.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. And I'm sure you've touched on it, and maybe everybody else will appreciate it, but I think we all want to learn all the different parts or the different tools that are available, but maybe where's the best place to start to generate leads, to do everything, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's a great question. We're talking about leads and lead generation and a great place to start. And how do I know I'm in the right place getting going? Yeah. That's a great question. And it could be a really long answer, or it could be a rather pithy answer. I will cut it down into the middle. The fact about marketing is it needs to be consistent no matter what it is. Okay. So it needs to be something, when I say consistent, I mean something that you're doing on a regular, habitual, scheduled basis. And that's going to mean money, because marketing costs money. And so if you're going to pick something you can be consistent at, you have to pick something that you can afford to keep going for a while. And now when you're first getting going, you don't have deal money to pay for marketing. So this is really where I think this separates the men from the boys, so to speak. When you can, take out of your life $100, $200 a month and put it into a machine of marketing and continue to supply that, whether or not you got your first deal in the first 30 days or not, that's a great thing when you can do that. Now, the problem I find a lot of people have is they get into the business, but they don't, have that desire to do whatever it takes to come up with $100 minimum every month to do some marketing. And so they go out of business in the first 30 days.
Yeah.
When they're not successful. So pick something that you can do. Okay. I now believe, with the experience I have, that it doesn't matter to me. I know a lot of people get caught up on this, and maybe some guys with experience would disagree with me, and that's okay. My opinion is that a lead is a lead is a lead. So I don't care if it came from the pre-foreclosure list, if it came from the absentee owner list, if it came from a Zillow scrape or a Craigslist scraper, or if it was a ringless voicemail I sent out, or if it was a text blast I sent out, or a postcard I sent out. All of these devices provide return contact from a homeowner that is motivated. Okay. So they'll either send a card back to you, or they'll call you, or they'll text you back, so it's designed to get attention. And once someone that's motivated or has a pain point or thinks, man, I need to call, or I should call this person, now they're going to contact you. It doesn't matter what list it came from. That's a motivated seller. Okay.
Right.
So I don't want people to get caught up so much on, there's gotta be I know I put a video out on YouTube, secret motivated seller list. Yeah. Well, it kind of is a secret motivated seller list, but it's readily available to anybody that has the money to buy it for $97 a month on PropStream. Okay. So it's like, it's not secret. There's no magical list. There's no magical place to begin. There's no, you've cracked the code and nobody else has ever tried this. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. Like everybody that's ever tried any piece of marketing, it's been done before. I mean, it really, really has. So you can't get caught up in the questions and wonderings about so much, the quality of this list and this lead and this platform's leads and this lead over here. And it's just motivated sellers. That's all you're looking for. It doesn't matter where they come from. So pick something. I recommend starting with the Zillow scraper and the Craigslist scraper on automatedrei.com, theautomatedrei.com. That's where I recommend, because you can start there. You can start there with less than $100 a month. Okay. You can do your data counts in your areas before you pull the trigger and pay money. It doesn't get much better than that. All right. So it's a wonderful place to begin, and you can stay consistent on it. It has a scheduler on it. You can schedule it for the day and the time that you want to work. So you don't have to be available 24/7. Man, that's beautiful. Ooh, I can't tell you how beautiful that is. And once you get your business up and going, you'll be looking for a day off. All right. So,
would those be email or text blasts?
Those would be yeah. So I'll scrape Zillow on theautomatedrei.com.
Yep.
Or I'll scrape Craigslist according to some basic parameters, which I usually just go with the filters, what I'm looking for, price ranges. That's it. Yeah. And for sell by owners or for rent by owner. That's really it. I'm not getting into real detailed, specifics and filters and trying to find two pain points. I'm just scraping Zillow, scraping Craigslist. Right. Real basic. Yeah. So not complicated to think through, just something that's real simple, easy tool. I'm glad they invented it for this reason, because it's great for people like me who don't want to spend a ton of money. They also don't want to spend a ton of time, developing their brain to the point where they know how to go pick a list that's like a super guerrilla marketing list. Anyway, I love it. It's a great place to start. Once you get past that, you start that, get that going for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, have your momentum going a little bit, maybe even do it till you get your first deal. Get your first deal. Now add some more marketing to it. Keep that going, add something else. Okay. And you want to have a goal of having like 5 different things going at least at all times. So it'll start with the scraper, maybe one day a week. And then it'll go to buying an absentee owner list that's also vacant properties, 2 pain points. So you'll do that once a month. And then you'll add on to that. Maybe you put an ad in the Thrifty Nickel or the American Classifieds You know what that is? That's that little rag mag newspaper thing sitting in the cage by the door when you walk out of the convenience store. People get it to wrap their glassware and shit in when they're moving, but it's got just nothing but classified ads in it. Some sections is nothing but cars. Okay. Put an ad in there. You know how many people read that shit? It's unbelievable how many people read that. And you'll get phone calls. So you'll start stacking your marketing and you'll start growing your momentum. But long story short, place to begin, scrape Zillow.
Thank you.
I told you that was a long answer, but
Mhm.
could have been longer.
Hey, you ever do anything with, would you stay away from a property with a reverse mortgage or not?
Yeah, I would. I
away.
would. Yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of confused on why they would be wanting to sell the house if there's a reverse mortgage on it, because typically a reverse mortgage means that the generally elderly couple will be living in that property until they're dead or about to be. Typically, that's
Right.
so I don't know why they would be moving, or maybe they're going to a home and they need to. Okay, if they're moving out and they're, yeah, I'd look at it just like any other deal.
Well, it's over leveraged, and I just didn't
Oh,
want it to be done. Yeah.
how badly over leveraged?
There's no equity. There's a second mortgage too that's in foreclosure, and I just thought something I could do something with it. It's vacant now. They've walked away from it, but they're willing to work with me, and I didn't know what I could do with it.
Yeah, I think I would pass on that one.
Yeah,
I don't think there's much they can do. I've run across a deal like not reverse mortgage, but similar to that one this week myself, where the person was horribly over leveraged and running out of time in foreclosure. Yeah. And it's just like, when you wait till, and here's what I don't understand about people, y'all help me out. Like, if I knew I was going into foreclosure for the last 18 months, okay, let's just say it only took a year to foreclose on somebody. They've only known a year. Okay. Why do they wait till the last 7 days before the sale to call a guy? I can't tell you, and it break your heart, because here's a motivated seller. Mm-hmm. Like, they are as motivated now as they've ever been. Problem is they were too stubborn all the way up to the last week, and now they're motivated. Well, if they had been motivated like this 90 days ago, that would have been a game changer. 6 months ago, even better.
Yeah.
But now it's just too late. And so, unfortunately, there are just a few people out there you can't help. That happens to be, in my case this week, one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wish it were different. I wish I had a magic wand. I don't. We have any more questions out there, Stephen? You got any more questions? Anybody else? This is a fun Q&A this morning. I'm having a good time.
Good. I have tons of questions, but I'll let somebody else ask one if they want.
Well, anybody want to interrupt Stephen with the questions?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay, go for it.
So back to automated REI and Craigslist scraping. So you just gave like one criteria on the scrape 4, right? Yeah. So there's like apartments, housing, office, commercial, parking space. Are you pretty much only looking at by owner, right? By real estate by owner, I guess, is their category?
Well, I said that, but let's be extra clear, I guess, because I'll log into it and show you exactly what I'm talking about on the scraper, if that'll be helpful. Would that be helpful, guys? Okay.
Sure.
All right. So I'm in automated REI, and I'm going to go to the Zillow scraping tab on the left menu. And of course, I'm just going to name it, whatever today. I'm going to click by owner. Let's see. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do a market area of choice. I'm going to slide down. I'm going to pick what time and day I want to run this thing. Now I'm going to click filters. it's going to pop up this menu here. I'm really going to go over here to home type. I'm going to uncheck apartments. I'm going to uncheck condos and co-ops because I'm not into that. If you are, keep it checked. I'm going to uncheck manufactured houses, and I'm going to uncheck lots and lands. That's just me personally. Maybe you don't mind manufactured homes. That's okay. But this is how you get down to single family residences or single family residences and townhomes and condos. But this is how it'll look when I run it. Now, what I'll do is instead of running just wide open, full blast, all price ranges, I'll come in here and I'll go 50,000 to 149. You guys mute your mics if you got background noise. 149,999. So, oops, man, I did that. Okay, there it is. 50,000 to 149,999. That's how I would do it. Now you could click more and come down here and get real crazy with it. Beds, baths, everything. Every time you add something though, you reduce your pull, your scraping, success goes down. So I don't really like to get real crazy with the 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,200 plus square feet, blah, blah, because I want more than 3. I hope that makes sense. Now I'll also come back after I've done this one, and then I'll run another scrape that looks just like it, except it'll be 150,000 to 249,999. Okay. So this is how I'll do 1 week at one price range. I'll do the second week in another price range. I'll do the third week in another price range, and the fourth week in another price range. And then I'll start over the next month. Okay. That's a good flow. If you're in more than one market, this is enough, especially more than one market. This is enough to carry business along, to get off the ground. And it's pretty doggone cheap. So did that answer your question?
I was more, yeah, for Zillow, but what about Craigslist?
Okay, well, let's look at Craigslist while we're here. Craigslist scraping on the left menu. I'm going to click that. Take us there. Gobbledygook campaign name. Scrape for. Okay, real estate by owner. Okay. Or, and here's probably the answer to your question now that I realize what we're talking about, I think. Real estate by owner or apartments housing for rent. One of those two sections. Why is that? Because real estate by owner, that's FSBOs. And right here, this is FRBOs, for rent by owners. A lot of them. Make sense? So one of those two. Now that means I might have to run more than one scrape here. Same gig. I'll put in the time and date I want to do it. I'll click filters. Let me see here. Scrape for. Let's just do let's try to set it up. See if we can look at the filters. I'm just randomly picking things here. Okay, so in the same type of Zillow menu on the Zillow scraper, you can come down here and check your filters. It looks like that's right. This here, I don't care about that. Housing type. Okay, I could just do house only, which is what I typically will do, especially, guys, if I'm using the for rent by owner section. Okay, if I'm using the for rent section instead of the for sale by owner section, if I'm scraping for rent, I want to come down here and make sure, for darn sure, I'm selecting house. If I don't, it's going to pull a bunch of apartments out of my area, and they ain't even for sale. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any more questions out there, guys? I love these questions. I love it because that means you guys are out here with you getting your fingers dirty, in this. Hey, Kimmy, Nelly. Hi, how are you? Yeah, Kimmy Nelly said I had a property under contract but couldn't find a buyer. Any advice for me? Yeah, yeah. Give me a call sometime. Let's talk. There might be 2 or 3 different things that went wrong there. It might be the deal itself, or it might be how you marketed the deal. Maybe not enough people, maybe not the right people saw your deal, or maybe it just really wasn't a deal. And guys, let me tell you, that's the hardest part of being a beginner. The hardest part of being a beginner is not knowing if it's a deal or not. I can't tell you how many properties I've put under contract and then couldn't find a buyer. More than I can shake a stick at. You know, it's not like I went out into the wild world and I found this real estate wholesaling gig and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I went and, hey, Kimmy, it doesn't take a lot of money to have a coach. You know, you guys con yourselves out of this. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you con yourselves out of this stuff. All right. At the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, we make every resource available to you in a way that you can do it. I don't care what your situation is. If you want it bad enough, call me. If you don't, it's okay. I still love you. I love your name, Kimmy. I think that's cool. Hey, Al, thanks. Oh, that's a loose. A loose. Of course, I love you. You're awesome. Oh, you're the best. Thank you. But what was I talking about? You guys got me all. I've done a lot of deals where I didn't find buyers. Yeah. And it happens. Sometimes you figure it out, sometimes what went wrong, and sometimes you don't figure out what went wrong. So, you know, hey, thank you. I will definitely check it out. Justin seems so legit out of all the people on YouTube. Oh, I wish I had sound effects where I had like I could do that. And oh well. So how do you get better? Practice. You get better at getting deals and finding what really is a deal. Plus 2, it's a mental thing. Very much so a mental thing. You think, well, I can't offer this person that low of an offer. If I did the 70% rule and I made that offer, you know, they're going to what? Shoot me, throw me out of the house. I've been thrown out of houses. I have. Doing the ugly house stuff that Steven was talking about earlier, going direct to seller. I've been thrown out of the house. Yeah. Yeah. I've been in some tight situations where I made some offers they didn't like and they got rid of me pretty quickly. And that's okay. That's their right to do that. And it's my right to go. Okay. Now here's the thing. You know, you just got to grow some. Do you remember what the movie Glengarry Glen Ross? That's your homework, guys. If you haven't watched Glengarry Glen Ross, the movie, go watch it. Because they tell you what it takes to sell real estate in that movie. Now, once you know what it takes to sell real estate from watching that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross, then you'll be able to, move a lot of real estate. You get better. Long story short, grow a pair. Don't be afraid to have thick skin, whatever you want to call it. But make the offer where it will sell. Don't try to appease the seller so much that you get into a situation where it ain't a deal. That does no one any good. Okay. Coffee is for closers. You dang right it is. Put the coffee down. I love that movie. You guys are blowing up the chat now on YouTube. That is a classic. Yes. How do you add a pre-recorded voicemail of someone called the number through SMS campaign? Oh man, you guys are awesome. Let me share the screen and I'll show you. This is how you do it, guys. So what he's asking is over here on automated REI, if you send out a text blast, SMS campaign or TCPA campaign, compliant campaign. So you're according to the law, you're good. Okay. SMS campaign. You fill all this out, right? Well, what if you send a text number? You send a text to a number from this number that you bought, okay, which I think is $1 or $2. But you send a text, and let's say they don't text back. If they texted back, it would be in your SMS history, right? Campaign history. If they texted back, it would be here in this tab, and it would show up on the leads list as a text. You see right here, message response. They texted this back. It's listed, call the agent. I mean, blown out of the water on that one. Right out of the gate. But that's where it would be if it was a text. Now, the question is at hand, if they make a phone call back to you, how do you have a voicemail set up for that? Well, this tab over here, incoming voicemail box. All right. You click that, add voicemail. You want to enter a name for it. And then you click the red button and you start recording and you click save. All right. That's how you record your voicemail. Now, next time you're going to send out an SMS campaign or a TCPA compliant, will somebody type realestatewholesalersclub.com into the chat in YouTube for Kimmy? Realestatewholesalersclub.com. Okay, yeah, it's you want to, next time you're over here at SMS campaign, it'll show down here your number, right? And when they call back, it'll play the voicemail message that you have recorded for that number. All right, so that's how you do it. Now, when you do get a voicemail returned to you, let me show you a cool little trick about that. When somebody calls you back instead of texting you back, over here in the SMS campaign history where your leads are, remember I just showed you this where the guy texted back, it's listed, call the agent right here. Well, look at the column right next to it. It says voicemail message. Your voicemail messages will be in this column. But you can see from this example, there are no voicemail messages in this column. Nearly all of the time, a lead will text you back or contact you back via the method that you reached out to them. A lot of times. So, I don't know. I hope that helps. Does that help? I don't know. That was somebody on YouTube. All right. Man, lots of great activity out there, guys. My question is, when using automated REI, it doesn't let us for rent by owner. It adds agents all the time. That's correct. And that is from Jamie. That's correct. On Zillow. And the reason that is because on Zillow, a lot of the rental properties on Zillow are rental properties being property managed by realtors, listed on Zillow by a realtor. So that is the nature of Zillow. But if you want to get to the for rent by owners, you can find them a lot of times on Craigslist in the apartments housing wanted section, which we just talked about a little bit. I hope you catch that. If you didn't, go back and watch the replay. So, yeah, that's a good one. Any questions in the Zoom room right now? I love you guys. Glad you're here with me. It's fun. I got some more questions here in the YouTube. Any other questions in the Zoom room, though? I don't want to neglect you guys because you're sitting here right here with me. You guys got all dolled up, and some of you got your cameras on and all that. Would I recommend getting fired from your job for the unemployment check so that you can focus on wholesaling? Oh my God. That's the best question ever. Would I recommend getting fired from your job? What would you do to get fired from your job? That's what I want to know. What would you do to get fired from your job? All right. Steven wants to know, how long are you able to keep the number on the automated REI once purchased, and how much more to do the TCPA? Yeah. It's not anymore, and you don't have to rent the number. You buy it one time, it's there forever and ever and ever. And then after that, you can do TCPA, and you can do SMS blast with it, and it's the same. I think it's the same cost. It's like a penny or two every time you do it or something. It's not much at all. I'm curious about any type of cash deposit is required for the contract. Do you have a template for the text blast? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Joshua, you're in the VIP. Yes. Yes. I want to answer this question privately in the VIP message because I want to give you something, and I don't want everybody out there in the world to have it. So will you do me a favor and ask me this question in the VIP private chat sometime today, Joshua? I'd appreciate that. That'll help me out. Yep, I'd love to answer that question. Nope, you're not bugging me. You're all good. Do you ever recommend a cash deposit to get the offer? Oh, now let's talk about cash deposits. You'd quit your job by calling out sick. Are you guys able to follow me in my scatterbrain? Yeah, I'll get back to this. Alus and Kimmy, hang on. All right. So, talking about cash deposits on lease options, stuff involving lease options, no out-of-pocket money, guys. I am not giving any homeowner cash on lease options ever. You know, maybe I'll share some of the deposit or the option fee. I might share some of that if I have to. If you twist my arm, Mr. Homeowner. Oh, it hurts. I might give you a little piece of it, but I'm not coming out of pocket for no earnest money or nothing. Okay. Now, and that ain't even what I would give would be the tenant buyer's money to me. It wouldn't even be out of my pocket, really. So now on the ugly house side, whether you're talking about going direct to homeowner or co-wholesale, it depends. On co-wholesale, if you're bringing the buyer, that means the other wholesaler has the property under contract. He doesn't, he's taking care of that stuff. You don't need a deposit. Now, if you're the guy going direct to homeowner, you're calling the seller and you want to put it under contract, a motivated seller will not require large amounts of down payment or earnest money. The banks themselves, I make offers to banks regularly, weekly, and they are oftentimes willing to accept 100 down today and 400 after my inspection period. All right. Well, if I haven't sold it by the end of my inspection period, I'm outie. I ain't paying that other 400. So I got to pay to play in that game, but it's worth it because when I win big, baby. $100. I'll gamble $100 on a bank-owned property deal, knowing the numbers and everything. Oh yeah, I know the numbers. This is a great deal. So that cost me $100. If I'm going direct to a motivated seller, a man on the street, a homeowner just out there in the world, not a bank, I will offer him $10. And if he really, really balks at it and just gets irate and I gotta have $1,000, I'll say, how about I give you 100 down today and 400 when my inspection period's over? We'll be 500 total. Here's the thing. I've seen houses, guys, and I don't want to beat this subject to death, but hopefully you'll learn something. I've seen houses where the homeowner was like, let's say the house was like, for example, $100,000 house, and the normal rent would be $850 a month. Okay, let's say $850 a month is what you could rent that house for in that neighborhood. And I've gone to the homeowner and made an offer to buy the property and give me 28 days to close. So I'm asking for pert near a month. Pert near. Y'all know what that means? Pert near a month. Almost a month. That's what my offer said. I'll close in 28 days. And I've had the guy demand $2,000, $3,000 in earnest money. Nope. Sorry, Mr. Homeowner. Let me educate you for a minute. Let me ask you a question first. Why would I ever give you $2,000 or $3,000 to buy 28 days of time in this shithole? I could rent this house normally from you for $850 a month. And you want $3,000 for 28 days. I'm sorry, but you're off your rocker. If you want to be reasonable, we'll make a reasonable offer. I've seen it happen. And maybe you guys aren't willing to talk to a homeowner like that, but I am. They need to realize the folly of their ways sometimes, right? So that's the fee. I hope that answered the question on the fee question, how fees work. I'm not really coughing up fees. Remember this, we all got involved in this because we were all stuck on the couch one night watching TV, and somebody came along and said, you can make money flipping real estate with no cash, no banks, no work. And it was like, I'm interested in this. And then you didn't flip the channel and you ordered a course, and here we are, baby. You know, trying to figure it out. Yeah. Well, pretty much no money, pretty much no deposits. But remember, you are a real estate investor. Even if you're quick flipping, which is what wholesaling is quick flipping, you might have to spend $10 here, $100 here, $500 here. Yeah. Well, that is money, but it's not a lot. But you can get going and find deals where you don't have no money out of pocket, lease options, stuff like this. Most motivated sellers on the ugly house business don't require a lot of money out of pocket either. $10, like I said. You don't have to start negotiating with the banks from the beginning. Okay, stuff like that. You can build up to this. There's places to get started with no money. Yeah, so somebody's going to call in sick to their work and get fired. Nah, don't do that. Don't quit your job. Please don't quit your job because you believe me. It's like the, you don't get to heaven because you believe the preacher. All right. Don't quit your job because you believe me. You ain't going to get to heaven because you believe the preacher either. You're going to have a personal experience. What matters to you? You'll know when it's right. I'm not going to tell you when it's right. You'll know when it's right. And I'm betting right now is not the right time. Yes, analysis paralysis, guys. It's so simple, it's dumb. It's so simple, it's dumb. Somebody brought this up in the chat. It's so the analysis paralysis. I know what you mean. Yes. But this is so simple, it's dumb. It really is. And we make it complicated sometimes to make it more interesting. Because it's just the process itself is just so dumb simple. And I hope you can feel that from me. I'm just sitting here like a normal guy telling you that I got successful at this after struggling for years and years and years and years and years. Struggled. Well, I thought you'd been a success forever. Oh, yeah, I was a success when I popped out of my mama's wound. Not. No. I struggled for a long time. And it wasn't because I didn't know how it worked. I knew how it worked. I just didn't know how to make it work. So I've been there, guys. I've been there. And I'll tell you, the day that it started getting better for me was the day that I started working from my little to-do list every day. It was my boss. And I got real consistent with the dumb things. I made it super simple. I was like, you know, everything I see in life that's super successful is super simple. Every AC/DC song out there, you could be in any bar in America. And late at night before close, before last call, or even at last call, drop 25 cents in the jukebox and pick any AC/DC song and see how it lights that bar up. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen it happen. Well, is it because AC/DC is the magical and they're just one? No, it's because their shit is the simplest 3-chord shit ever. And you relate. I relate. Everything in life that's successful, massively successful, almost all of it, almost I'd say 100% of it is about the most simple shit you can imagine. You're overthinking. It's 4 mountain peaks: leads, converting leads into deals, marketing deals, converting buyers into customers. That's it. 4 things. When you get real dumb with it, get real, you know what I mean by that, get real dumb with it. Just simple, like, and I ain't got time for nothing else but this simple shit right here. I'll figure it out. I told myself I'll figure out the CRM next year. I'll figure out the, whatever else next time. When I get this money, then I'll get really what I want. Actually, after I started getting the money, I really closing deals and getting money, I realized I didn't even want that shit. Okay. So yeah, somebody said they wanted to call leads back today from their SMS campaign. Yeah, do it. There's no magic words, really. Just actions, just the right actions. Those 4 things, if you'll put your activities and your focus there, your actions there, you'll be successful. Pert near. Somebody says, yep, I know what pert near means. If you don't know what pert near means, I remember I said it was pert near something. What'd I say? Pert near. That means it's pretty damn close. Okay. Pert near. We got to get some more questions, guys. Let's go for 10 more minutes. Lightning round, 10 minutes, lightning round. This is the no holds barred Q&A.
Hey, Justin, I got a question.
Let's go. Yep.
So I go to a lot of REI club meetings and try and meet with as many investors in my area as possible. And anytime they ever send me any leads or I see any of their leads posted, meaning properties that they have for sale that they're trying to wholesale off to other investors like me, their numbers are so far out of whack, there's no way anybody's going to make any money on it. So what's your suggestion? Make offers on them or what do you think?
Yeah, that's your job as a real estate wholesaler, is make offers, really first and foremost. So anytime you feel like a seller would be willing to entertain an offer of your nature, then 100% do it. Yeah. Those are the kind of things where, explain it to me again. Say it one more time.
So in other words, the wholesalers in my area go to the REI clubs,
yeah,
to market their properties to other to other investors, like or other people.
Yeah.
And I try and I get their numbers off of bandit signs, and I'll call them up and say, add me to your list because I'm interested in buying properties. So anytime anybody ever sends me any properties or I see any of their properties available, these are other wholesalers.
Yeah.
Selling their properties.
Yeah.
I look at their numbers and their numbers aren't even close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Deuces. That's what I'd say. I would not talk to them people. I would not have anything to do with them people, probably. Those are the wannabes. Okay. Those are the people who got a crap ass deal. They don't know how to do the 70% number calculation rule, or they don't know how to find the ARV to do the calculation, to start the calculation. You got to start with the ARV, or they're just not very good at it yet. and they're just putting anything under contract they can find and throwing mud up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you what will happen if they continue to do that. Their business will continue to make no money, and you will not see them at the next REI meeting because they will be out. I do not waste time doing that. I don't go to the REI meetings. I don't pass out my business card there. You maybe should, but I don't go there to try to find other connections. Yes, I know there are other wholesalers there. Yes, I know there are other landlord buyers there. There are other fix and flippers there. There are other realtors there. And there's all that, but I ain't never found one motivated seller there.
Right.
And that's where the money is. So if I want to present my buyers to the REI club, all I got to do is post on their Facebook group, and all 5,000 of the members will see it. So that's the interaction I get with the REI club in Meyer. But you know, this is just me being real. You talk to another guy and they'll say, "Oh, you should go to every one of those, hand out all your business card to all the landlords and all the fix and flippers there. These are your buyers. You're going to build your buyers list over there." Yep, you could do it that way if you don't mind spending a whole evening going around wasting time and jawing around with people and then missing like 98% of them. Mm-hmm. That's just a real inefficient way of doing it. I'm surprised they even have REI meetings anymore. What's crazy is we can sit here in our houses on Saturday morning in our underwear and do it like this. Right. I'm sorry. I get off track. I hope that answered your question though, Stephen.
Yeah, no, I just was curious what your opinion was. And I don't really get a lot of the REI meetings other than the motivation of doing the business. That's what I get out of it.
I learn some from the speakers if I go. You know, there's a gold nugget in there or two.
Yeah.
In fact, I started this coaching business that I do now based on the last time I went to an REI meeting was back before I started this. And that's where I got the idea to do this. Somebody got up and it was a really, really charismatic speaker that night. And she goes, "Somebody in here." It was like going to church. I swear it was really cool. He's like, "Somebody in here needs to start a coaching business. That's your answer. Go." And I was like, it was like the light shined down from heaven on me. I was like, "REI." Yeah. So here I am.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Glad you did it.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. Hey, Neth says, are you saying that on all lease options, you're getting them under contract with zero deposit to them? Yeah, I don't give them any money. Yeah. Or are you asking for some sort of down deposit? Well, I'm getting a down deposit from my tenant buyer when I'm trying to put all of that in my pocket, right? I don't want to share any of that with the homeowner unless I have to. Now, a small piece of a big pie is still better than no piece of any pie, right? So, you know, I'll still share with the homeowner if I have to, but I'm not going to be the guy that brings it up. Okay. But I will be getting I hope that answers your question. I will be getting it from the tenant buyer, but I'm going to try to keep it because that's my profits. Randy in Oklahoma City says he quit his 6-figure job in the oil field to do this thing full time. And his first deal brought him $7,000. Hey, congratulations, Randy, out in Oklahoma City. God bless you, man. It's good to see you out there succeeding. Oklahoma City. I'll give you I'll tell you this. This week I was poking around a little bit down in Oklahoma City. I wasn't there physically, but online. And I was checking it out and I was like, ooh, look at this. This looks like a good area to do it in. Looks like a good area. You're doing good. Keep it up, Randy. Keep it up. Yep. Debbie's preaching a sermon down here in the chat. I'm all right with that. I agree with you, Debbie. Yep. It says here, Stephen, well, this is from Rick to everyone. Sounds like these other wholesalers are locking them down too high. Yeah, I agree. You remember the other day I put that deal on Facebook Marketplace. Did you guys see that video? In 23, it was like, it ended up being like 25 before I removed it. I removed it because I got so tired of people bugging me about it. Now, that's what happens when you have a real good price deal. Okay. They will kick down your door to come get you. Will you take, I have traveled 500 miles to give you my cash. Yeah. That's what a real deal feels like. Okay. And you're right, Rick. I totally agree. They're locking them down at any price and pray that they can find a fool to come in and buy it for that. Or like you just said, exactly, they could maybe renegotiate with the homeowner. Guys, that's not a bad technique though. I'll renegotiate, if I'm off, I'll renegotiate. If my buyers come in and I'm too high, I'll renegotiate my butt off. Yeah. See, that's why we say the best deals aren't found, they're made, because you got to make these deals happen a little bit like this. They don't just click clack together like click lock flooring. You got to kind of like nurse it along a little bit. Sometimes you got to be the doctor and you got to operate a little bit. Sometimes you got to prescribe some medicine just a little bit. All right. Hey, somebody else said they're going into Oklahoma City. You better watch out. Neth. You're gonna get competition down there telling everybody how kick ass it is in OKC. Michael wants to talk to me today. Why don't you talk to me right now? You can, but sure. Talk to me right now. Okay. Kimmy doesn't understand the whole virtual thing. Go get the free training at realestatewholesalersclub.com. Realestatewholesalersclub.com. It's all virtual there. I'm going to put the old school stuff up on the YouTube channel again for Steven. Steven's like, man, you talked so much shit on your own course. I don't even want to listen to it. I did on that one. That was the very first one I ever did. Actually, it's pretty good. I go back and watch little segments of it every now and then just to remember where I started. But yeah, go check that stuff out. Realestatewholesalersclub.com. Are you making multiple offers? No, I do one offer. Other people do multiple offers. In other words, they find a motivated seller and they're like, okay, I'll send you my offer. It'll be a cash offer. It'll be a lease option offer, and it'll be something else, or whatever. No, I don't do that. I'm more like, I want to find out what the guy will sign and I'll send him that. That's kind of my belief. Why do I want to spend the time to send you multiple offers to confuse you and bring up more questions and objections? And I've had them say, okay, I've tried it, guys. And I've had them say, okay, I'll take both. What does that mean? Shit. I don't know. It means I send one offer now. Okay. I send one offer. That's how I do it. After the initial conversation, I send one offer, whatever it is I think they'll sign. All right. Joshua says, oh, he's helping answer the questions down here. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Joshua. Great. Any other questions in the Zoom room? We got some more questions in the Zoom room. We've been cracking at this for an hour, guys. I probably ought to sign off. How do I find a tenant buyer? Great question. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. That's just one way of doing it. No, Zillow is another way. Okay. Those are all real popular. Put your deal up there. Okay. If that's not enough, Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, paid ad, boosted it. Oh, man, that sounds cool. I like the way that rolls off my tongue. Boost it. Boost it. That's how you do it. If you're not getting any traction on the free stuff, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, boost it on Facebook Marketplace. If that's not enough, go to RentLinks, RentLinx.com. RentLinks.com and put it up there, because they're going to syndicate it out to like 40 or 60 other places that are super hot. This is how you do it virtually. Okay. You will have, if you did half, if you have a real true deal on a lease option, and you're looking for a tenant buyer, and this is what is a true deal on a lease option? It's a nice house people can enjoy living in, and the rent that you're charging is commensurate with the rent for the month or for the neighborhood. It's not like you're way out of whack. Your purchase price is in line with what the value of the properties in the neighborhood are. That's a good deal. They don't have any equity, Justin. Great. They're over leveraged by a few thousand. Wonderful. You mean you can do these with no equity? Absolutely. Yep. So if you did half of what I said to take a deal like that and find a tenant buyer, if you did half of those marketing strategies, you would have more people blowing up your phone than you even care to mess with. And you'll be looking for ways to hide your phone under a rock somewhere, because they'll be ding, 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 and then, it bursts into flames. So, that's my experience, at least. Okay. Not hard, guys. Buyers and tenant buyers are falling out of the sky. Like that. They're everywhere. You know what the most amazing thing is? I don't know who needs to hear this, but it just popped in my brain. If you're sitting out there thinking, I ain't got any money, I don't know how I'm going to get any money, I ain't got no money. You know how much money there is out there? There's just millions and gabillions and jabillions. And you're like the only person that ain't got none.
I don't have none.
Well, you got to change that, because there's plenty of it out there. Plenty of it out there. That's just the way it goes. Lots and lots of money. It's a mind thing, guys. It's a mind game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a mindset.
It's a mind thing. Absolutely. You guys really enjoyed that Brad Pickett, didn't you? Everybody's silent like crickets. I wish I had a crickets button too, where I could just hit it and it'd be like, I'd wear that one out. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, have Brad back. You got questions? I'd like to have Brad back. I'd like to have Brad talk about more of that mindset stuff. That dude's good on that, ain't he? He was good. I went back and watched that replay a couple times myself. He was mind blowing. Really told us what was up.
Hey, Justin, I may be getting off the topic of what you're talking about. I was listening to an article, or I was reading an article, and I was thinking about subject twos, and I heard that doing a subject two is good, but if you're gonna do it with somebody, it's best to do a wraparound. Is that true?
Yeah. It depends on the situation of the homeowner, really. In either case, they're going to be pretty motivated people.
Right.
And they're going to be willing to work with you. So whatever suits you best in the situation, it's all roads lead to Rome. It all will accomplish the same thing. It just depends on your scenario with the seller. I personally have never done a wraparound mortgage. I either get the deed or I don't get the deed. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm leaving money on the table too. Who knows? Nobody's perfect. But I'm really more like, I need this shit to be simple. And if it's going to get real complex, it's not for me, wraparound mortgages and all this other stuff. And I don't know, why don't we just go do a lease option on something? I bet Rick has more to say about this, and I wish you'd unmute. Save me, Rick. You have more
Rick
to say
don't
about
talk
this.
Rick don't talk that much.
Where is Rick? He's here. I saw him. When
Not
telling the
gonna
home, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Rick don't like to talk that much.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's super smart. He's in the VIP room. You ought to build a relationship with Rick. You'll learn some things. Yes. How do you find tenant buyer? Okay, we did that one. When telling a homeowner you are a real estate investor, do you let them know up front you will be assigning a tenant buyer? Yeah. Let's practice. Somebody be the homeowner and ask me who I am, what I'm doing, or just say hello, and I'll go off on you. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Investor.
Hey, how are you? I'm Justin. I'm a real estate investor. I'm actually looking to get my next investment deal. And I saw this one online. I thought I'd call you, ask you a few questions, let you ask me a few questions. And if it's not a good fit for you or me, either one, how about we just agree that we can tell each other no? Is that fair?
That sounds fair to me.
Wonderful. Now, later on, I've already told him I'm a real estate investor, that he should know I'm not trying to move in. But if he doesn't, and he later on asks me and he says, hey, how are you going to be living in this house? Are you going to be putting some, how does this work? And that inevitably comes up a lot. I'm like, okay, so somebody asked me that question.
Okay, so are you going to be living in the house? If I give you the house, how am I supposed to get paid?
Edward, that's a great question, man. No, I'm not going to be living in the house. Here's what I want to do. I want to put some good people in there, and I want to make a little bit of money. I'm an investor. Remember, I told you that, but so I want to put some good people in there, make a little bit of money, but I also want to make this a great solution for you. Does that seem reasonable or probably not?
It seems reasonable, but I'm still wondering how I'm gonna get paid.
Well, what do you mean? Like paid for the house or
yeah, how I'm gonna get paid for the house?
Yeah. Monthly. Well, you want us to make a payment monthly to you or how would you like that to work?
I just want to get paid. I want to sell the house.
Oh, you just looking for cash. Cash. I see. You don't want to, you wouldn't be interested in doing anything creative then.
No, not really.
All right. Well, see, now we know what kind of offer we'd have to make this guy. That's how I do it. He happened to go cash money, but I was starting out I was trying to talk about putting a tenant buyer in there.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of switched tracks there midstream.
I did that. That's what happened to me though. That's what happens to me. I be wanting to go one way and they send me another way.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah, it does happen. And you just have to do what I said basically and bring it back home and say, hey, now, so you're looking for cash.
Correct.
So you would not be interested in anything creative then, would you? Or would you? Okay, so now you just really have to get real basic with them like that.
So that's when you determine your level of interest, or your level of what he's doing.
Yeah, that definitely is going to affect him on the motivation scale, but it's also going to allow me to know what kind of offer I can make him. If he says, nah, I need cash, and I'm thinking in my head, well, why the hell did you respond to my text message that said lease for 24 months? And you said yes, and now here we're talking, and now you're not interested. So if I have brass balls, I'm going to say, Mr. Homeowner, I sent you a text asking you if you would lease the property, and now you're telling me you wouldn't. I mean, what's changed? Have I offended you?
Yeah,
that's what I say.
That's true. But in some cases, sometimes like I might be driving, I write down a number and I talk to somebody that's selling their house, so they don't know it. I'm lease option. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Let's say you live in Philadelphia. The real scenario might be a wholesaler in Ohio found the property in Philadelphia, but has no buyers in Philadelphia. They found you and your buyer in Philly. Yep. So you charge them for access to your buyer, or what you could do is you could just get a marketing agreement, or you could get a JV agreement, and you could bring your buyer, have them use your buyer. If your buyer buys the place, and you get 50% of the assignment fee. That's called a co-wholesale. That's what I do a lot of. Absolutely. Did one this week, in fact. So that was kind of nice.
Justin, do you have any joint venture agreements? Did you is it in the group where you could download the
Yeah. If you go to realestateWholeSalersClub.com and you go to the free Ugly House co-wholesaler training,
it's right there.
It's right there inside that training course, a big old button that says all the JV agreements here.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I will tell you guys, that's the old way. Okay. That's still a good way. It still works. But I have a more streamlined form that works in a slightly different way in the 2.0 course. So I'm baiting you now. Now, you guys are in the VIP, so you already have it. If you don't have it, let me know and I'll get you the link again. But if you're out there in the world and you want to know the streamlined, new, updated method, you're gonna have to buy the course, I guess. Y'all
hey,
never
Michael, what town are you in?
I'm the ATL, brother.
Oh, you out there in Atlanta?
Yes, sir. Yes,
man,
sir.
You know what? My son is in Atlanta, man. I'm trying to put him up on doing real estate up there, man.
Oh, you got to tell him, give me a call, brother. We can link up.
Yeah, maybe I can get him. Maybe you can get him. Maybe do some work for you. Maybe go around while you teaching him as you learning.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a winner.
Cause he ain't doing nothing. He young, man. He need to get on his feet. So.
Yes. Well,
Michael, you gonna tell us about these VAs, or you want me to call you privately?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I just want to get some information because, like I said, we talked about it before, and I'm, you was telling me the price and everything. I just want to know what all they do, or do they call, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Because I want to do it now.
Yeah, they call. Yeah.
I think you have to train the VAs though, don't you?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, you always have to train them, but there's some you train less than others.
Just do certain jobs for you. Huh?
Yeah, the ones he's talking about, I believe, is over at va4rei.com. I believe is the ones he's talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones. Yes, the ones.
Yeah,
already trained.
Yeah, they're already trained up in a lot of it. So,
yeah,
they got experience. Now you'll pay a little bit more, but not a lot more. I think it's 5 something for admins and then 8 something for phone callers.
Okay.
So I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's still, man, I got a guy right now that's a student. You guys want a testimonial? I wish he'd get his butt on here and do it, but he's one of these private individuals.
I know. Why we can't get? They won't talk. They won't talk.
Yeah. And here's the best part, man. The guys that actually are out there hitting deals, it's like they never even come to these.
And I
asked him, I'm like, hey, what? I'm busy. I'm busy doing shit on Saturdays. Well, why don't you come on, help me out?
I know, man.
Tell you a story. Well, I got a guy that's a student that actually he bought a list, he hired VAs, and he has a VA that calls for him. I think full time, man. He's dropping some coin on this VA though, full time. And that VA's getting deals. And I mean, I've watched him get 3 now in the last month or so, 3 or 4.
That's what I'm looking for.
I mean,
I'm looking for it, brother.
Which, by the way, the scripts for all that shit, all the scripts and everything are in my 2.0 stuff at the website. So I'm charging a little bit for that, but because you don't have to have all that stuff to get going. But if you want to advance your business like that, I've got a course for that. It's either less than 100 or less than 200, depending on what you're looking for. It comes with all that shit. All right. Anybody else? No, Debbie, you don't have to buy it. It's in the VIP room.
Yeah, Yeah.
Very important people like you and Michael Goolsby and Edward and Joshua and all you folks. You got it in there. You already got it, or I'll give it to you again. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? I love you guys. I've had fun today. Thanks for picking my brain.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man.
It takes me a minute to get the cobwebs out of my head from waking up and getting my butt over here. It was like, it's time to make the donuts. Do you remember that guy?
What time do you usually start your day?
Usually about 7:30. But I keep weird hours, you've noticed, I'm sure. I'll be up in the middle of the night a lot.
Yeah.
And I get some of my better ideas from the creator in the middle of the night.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah, when everybody else is asleep and I'm the only one awake, the only one stirring around, man, there's something about that. It's a magical time, and it's a beautiful thing. So I recommend that, guys. If you don't get away and have some privacy and some private time for your mind to just decompress and not do anything but just be open to thinking on what you want to think about. And listening to ideas that pop in your mind. If you don't have that, you're missing it, guys. I don't know how you even survive. I mean, I gotta have some kind of a, let me just sit here with God for a minute and see if I can get started better. Get started better. I love you guys. Anybody else got anything? Somebody said they went blind. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate you, man. Well, I'll recommend a list to pull from Automated REI. Yep, I would recommend a list. I would recommend, depending on what you're trying to find, lease options or ugly house stuff. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for lease options, try the absentee owners or vacant properties, or failed listings. That's a real bad answer. Right? Call me. I'll give you a better answer. Okay. But that's a place to start. All right. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Y'all have a good one.
You too.